working in Access 2, and we're getting ready to do the third part of Access 2 with creating a query using a simple wizard. What is a query? A query is a request for information from a database. A query is a question. We're going to ask our database a question. So let's get started. Create Query Wizard. In the Query Wizard, we're going to choose the donations table and add the fields donor ID and donation amounts. So we want a simple query wizard, and from the donations table, right here it defaulted to plant table, but we want the donations table. And in the donations table, we want to add donor ID. So in available fields, we'll click donor ID and click it to selected field. And then we're going to click donation amount and click that to selected field. And we want to make sure that we have both of those in the correct order. We need to ensure that the query is a detail query. So we're going to go next. And we're going to select, would you like a detail or summary query? We want a detail query, and that means it's going to show every field of our record, of every record. We need to name the query donations over 500. We could have done that on the last screen, but I clicked a little too fast. So we're going to change the title of our donations query. I'm going to right click and save it, and then I'm going to go back and change my name. When I double click in there, ended up closing the query, and coming over here to our Access Objects table, we can actually close up the tables and just look at our query. And I'm going to right click our donations query so I can rename it. And I've clicked rename, and it asks us to title this donations over 500. And I click enter, and our query has been renamed. Now it's asking us to view our query in design view. Let's start with that. We're going to open our query, and we're going to go back over here to the home tab. Right now we're in datasheet view. We're going to click on views, and we're going to go to, so you can see how it's highlighted in datasheet view. We're going to click on design view. And in design view, it's asking us to set the criteria. Now look down here. Here's criteria in our beneath in our subform for the donation amount field. So this is donation amount field right here, so that the donations are greater than 500. So we want greater than 500. We're in criteria field. We want to go shift and greater than, and then we want to type 500. And enter. Sort the query in descending order by donation amount field. So descending order by donation amount field. Here's our donation amount field, and we can sort right here if we click in the sort row, and we have a choice of ascending or descending. It asks us to select descending. Save the query. Run the query. We hit run and close the query. Create a new query in design view. So we're going to go over here to create, and instead of using the query wizard, we're going to use query design. and our Show Table dialog box pops up. Add the donations, donors, and plants tables to the Query Design window. All right, we're in Query Design window, but we need to click on these. You can also, and you'll see as I click, they'll put the table behind. So I'll kind of move this over so you can see donors. And you could also use your Control key and highlight all three and then add if you chose. But I kind of want you to see as I add these tables. I like to look at them side by side. I'm going to go ahead and close the Show Table dialog box so you can see all three side by side. Now we're going to add fields from our tables. So from the donations table, which is this first one right here, we're going to add the donation date, which is this. And to add it, we click it twice and it adds right down here. And then it wants us from the donors table, so that's this table, to add last name, first name, and I'm going to, again, I just hover my mouse over and I double click, and then phone field, which is right here, and all that is from the donors table. Now we're going to keep adding fields. We just finished the phone field, and we added that. We're going to add from the donations table, so that's this first table right here. We're going to add donations amount. So I'm going to move our little chart that we're keeping track of over here, and I'm going to come to donation amount and I'm going to double click, and that'll put that, you can see it right here below. Yeah, there we go. And so now after we added donations amount, we need to go to the plant table, and we want to add the plant name. So we double click that, and there we've added our fields for our query. Okay, so we have all those fields: donation date, last name, first name, phone, and we just added donation amount and plant name. Now we're going to sort the query in ascending order by the date of donation. So we're going to go find our date of donation, which is way back here at the beginning, and it's asking us to sort the query in ascending order by date of donation. So we go to the donation field and we come under here and we have sort, and we're going to click and we're going to select ascending order. And then we want to sort by last name of the donor. So we got last name and first name, but we want to do last name. We're going to click last name, and we want ascending order of the donor. Super. Now we're set. We have all our fields. We even have our sorting set. And we need to save the query with the name Plant Pickup List. So I'm going to click on the Query tab, and then I'm going to right click and click Save. And it wants us to name that plant pickup list. So in the query name box, I'm just going to highlight and type plant pick up list. I'm going to go OK. And then it's asking us to run our query. Well, over here's run. We're going to click run. Ta-da! It worked. That's really cool. And now we want to close our query. All right. And you are set. You can now submit your assignment. Well done.